In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the formula for surface area of a cone. It's pi r squared plus pi r L. Let's see what we're talking about. Well, there's our radius, and that's going to be pi r squared, area of the base. And we're going to add to that the area of the lateral surface, the cone part, not the base. And it looks like that when you make it all flat, but that's the area of the lateral surface, pi r L. Let's see how we actually do it. Our radius for this one is going to be 5 meters. Our height is 12 meters, but I don't care about the height. 5 squared plus 12 squared is going to give me the slant height squared. The L is the slant height, 13 meters. We have a Pythagorean triple of 5, 12, 13. But let's go ahead and plug it into our formula. Pi times 5 squared plus 5 times 5, pi times 5 times 13. Again, I didn't use that 12. Well, 5 squared, 5 times 5 is 25, and I put the pi on the right. We always write it that way. Plus 5 times 13 is 65, that's 65 pi. And 25 pi plus 65 pi gives us 90 pi. That is the exact answer to an infinite number of decimal places. But if a question asks you to give a decimal answer, you just give the approximate answer. See, those little squiggles means it's not exactly right. Just multiply 90 times 3.14 and you get 282.6 meters squared. Area is always in square units. So, let's see. What would happen if I doubled the radius? Instead of 5, let's make it 10. Now, I'm not going to change the height. I'm only going to be changing the base. So it's not going to be a similar figure, just going to make it wider. So let's see how we use our formula. Now, if I use a squared plus b squared equals c squared, Pythagorean theorem, I'll find my slant height is 15.6 meters. So we're just going to plug everything in. Pi times 10 squared plus pi times the radius is 10, and slant height is going to be 15.6. So 10 times 10 is 100, plus 10 times 15.6 is 156. Just move the decimal point. And we add those together. 100 pi plus 156 pi is 256 pi. That is exactly right to an infinite number of decimal places, but that's going to be approximately 256 times 3.14 is 803.84 meters squared. So let's use the formula for a different kind of problem. Let's say they gave you this cone, and the radius is 6, and they don't give you the slant height, but they do tell you that the surface area is 96 pi. Now I'm going to leave off all of the units here, no meters or centimeters or things. Let's just use the numbers. So we write surface area equals pi r squared plus pi r L. That's what you need to memorize. Instead of surface area, I'm writing 96 pi. I write in what I know. I know pi times 6 squared plus pi times 6 times the slant height. I'm going to make that just L. I don't know what that variable is, but I know everything else. I'm going to solve for L. First thing I'm going to do is simplify the right side. I can do 6 times 6 is 36. So I have 36 pi plus 6 pi times that variable. And I want you to notice something. In every one of these terms, the 96 pi, the 36 pi, and the 6 pi L, they all have pi. We can divide both sides of this equation to get rid of pi from all of those terms. We're going to divide it from there, and we're going to divide it from there. It just goes away, and it goes away there as well. So we don't write pi anymore. Those terms, by the way, were separated by the equal sign or a plus sign, sometimes a minus sign, can separate terms. Anyway, we rewrite with pi eliminated from it, and now it becomes a much easier question. You subtract 36 from both sides, You get 60 equals 6 times L. Divide both sides by 6. And you'll get 10 is going to equal the slant height. I'll just go ahead and write it over here. Slant height is 10. But let's go ahead and do one last problem. This time I'm going to write the units so we can do some unit analysis so you can see why it's going to be that. I'll explain. Again, our radius is going to be 7. We don't care about the height. We care about slant height, 25 meters. So our surface area is going to be pi times 7 meters, the quantity, squared, plus pi times 7 meters times 25 meters. We're going to use meters just like a variable. So 7m times 7m is 49m squared. M times m is m squared. 7 times 25 is going to be 175, and m times m is m squared. Just keep it like that. So when I add those together, I get 224. Go ahead and bring down pi on the right, don't keep it on the left, and leave our units as m squared, meters squared. It's the number of little squares on the outside of our cone. And that's the exact answer to an infinite number of decimal places. We're multiplying times 3.14159. It goes on forever. That's exactly right, but if they ask you to give an approximate answer, a decimal answer, you just multiply times 3.14. And our total surface area now is going to be approximately, that's what the squiggles are there for, 703.36 square meters. So just remember pi r squared plus pi r L is surface area, and surface area is always going to be in square units.